MYBITS, produced by ECHOEZ. Get curious and regain your decision-making power. Bom dia, boa tarde and boa noite. Good day, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening from wherever you are tuning in from. First and foremost, I need to apologize for the start of the video. It was a little bit shaky there, as you could see. And also, you'll probably see like pop up here and there and move around on the screen. There, it just did that. The ECHOEZ official little Instagram tag logo thing, whatever you want to call it. That's going to happen because this video, I actually did a live from Instagram because I wanted to share the sunrise live. Oh, look, there's my finger with the community. And because I don't have two phones or a phone and a camera to film the live and then this video on the side, I decided to use the live video, download it, and then use that for MYBITS. So that's why you're going to see that annoying little tag popping up here and there. And there it is again. But we can deal with that, right? So welcome to this beautiful, beautiful sunrise at Surfers Paradise on the Gold Coast, 27th of January 2024. So no, I did not record this audio while watching the sunrise. I wanted to be completely present in that moment, take it all in. So I'm actually recording the audio part the following day, the 28th. And it's actually raining. There is no beautiful sunrise when I'm recording the audio. So you might hear the rain in the background and it might be a weird combination. Watching the sunrise with not one drop of rain and then hearing the radio in the background. So please forgive me for the bizarre combination. But as I said, I wanted to be completely present to watch the sunrise. And as you can see, it's absolutely stunning. It is stunning. And look, the reason I wanted to do it live on my Instagram feed was because I wanted to give the opportunity for those people that can't get out to watch this free beauty, this magic that the universe offers us every single day. I wanted those people that can't get out there to be able to have an opportunity to view it, to feel it even from behind a screen. And the reason why I say those people that can't is because there are people that can and they choose not to. Yeah. Those people that can and choose to stay inside. They choose to stay behind a computer screen, playing a video game, scrolling through their Instagram, TikTok, YouTube feeds, etc., etc. So some people can and choose not to, but some people can't. They literally can't. For whatever reason. You know, you're unwell, you're at home, you're in a hospital, you're taking care of someone. You know, sometimes you're fully healthy, but you can't get out because you're taking care of someone or something, or you're struggling for cash and you need to complete some work, and you might be able to have this in the background and witness it live with me as you're doing whatever you need to do and have to do. And that's okay, right? When things happen and we just can't get out there, that's okay. Give yourself that grace. And I spoke about grace the other day on one of my MYBITS episodes. But look how beautiful this is. And the sun started to rise at 5:13 a.m. And yes, I did look it up the day before, so I didn't miss it. So I woke up at 4:30 in the morning, got dressed, headed out to Surfers Paradise and sat there waiting. And it didn't disappoint. It is amazing. Right on 5:13, we see this little peep of the sun come through, and it's absolutely beautiful, and you'll be able to see that in just a moment. But as we look out into the ocean and and the horizon and the clouds and the different colors of the sky and the reflection of the water and the birds flying by. There we see a little guy flying by, and the people walking by, the trucks cleaning the beach. We see life. We see life just happening right before our eyes. And whether you choose to be inside or whether you can't get outside, life continues. Life continues. Experiences continues. The sun will rise right on time, right on cue. And there's that truck again. It's not a truck as such, right? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I'm going to call it a truck. Cleaning the beach, and these beaches are so pristine. It's amazing. You know, if you've gone to beaches overseas, you know, some are beautifully clean like this one, but some are not. People don't respect nature, the beauty of nature, and there is litter. There is bottles, you find thongs, you find clothing, and surface paradise. And this, I can say this for the stretch of beach along the Gold Coast, you know, Broad Beach, Coolangatta, it's fairly clean, especially in the morning, because as you can see, they come by, those little tractors, that's what they are. They clean up the rubbish on the beach if there's any, you know, little bits and pieces maybe that fly onto the sand or get brought in by the water. So if you go to the beach early in the morning, it's pristine. You know, throughout the course of the day, it fills up with people, and unfortunately, you know, the human creature sometimes doesn't pick up after himself or herself, so it ends up, you know, having bits and pieces. But in the early hours of the day, it's absolutely beautiful, beautiful. The soft sand beneath my feet and this amazing vision is free. Is absolutely free. You don't have to have $1 million to view and experience this in your own city. If you live close to the water, it doesn't have to be that you go to the beach. It could be a lake, a lagoon, depending on what side the sun rises, right? Depending on where you are. So you might not be able to see the sunrise with the ocean in front of you, but wherever you can, whether it be, you know, from a mountain or just from a trail or from a park near your home, get out and watch it. It's so beautiful. There is so much that can be felt if only you are like, oh look, there it is. Can you see the sun? Can you see that tiny little dot at the back? And look, when you're present, it is phenomenal, just because, you know, obviously cameras and phones never do the beauty of nature justice. But there it is, and the energy that you feel when you watch a sunrise or a sunset is nothing like anything in this world, because it happens because of the energetic field, right? And the pools of the universe. And we get this amazing, inexplicable, magical thing happening of where we see the sunrise and the sunset. And it'll happen, regardless of what's happening in your life, my life, the world, it will happen. And it got me thinking, you know, this thing about energy and energetic fields and everything like that. We are literally little antennas walking around. We are vibrational beings, whether you like it or not, that's what we are. So we're little antennas walking around in our own little universes and our own little lives and our own little homes and work and etc., etc. And what is happening in our own little worlds is based on what we are, how do I say this? It's based on what we are connected to, and based on what we are focused on, and based on where our antennas are pointing. Yeah, sorry about the movement there. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting all of this for you. So if you're pointing in a certain direction, you're going to bring in whatever you're pointing to. So if you're pointing towards negativity, if you're pointing towards anything that doesn't bring you any good, that's what you're going to bring in. And what I mean by that is that when you set up an antenna, and those that are as old as I am will know that when in the olden days, and look, that's not that long ago, let's say early 90s, and let's say you had an antenna either on top of your TV, probably not early 90s, I can't remember if we would have had that back then, or on top of the roof. How you would get the image on your TV depended on how you let's say move that antenna around. If you move it a little bit to the left, you might get some static. Change it a little bit, 2%, 3% to the right, you might start to get a specific channel. Move it a little bit up and opened its little prongs a little bit more, you might get a better image and a different channel. That's us. That is literally us. If your antenna is focused on everything that's negative that's happening in your life, that's what you're going to be bringing in constantly. If your antenna is focused on illness, even ill feeling, that's what you're going to continue bringing in if you don't adjust your antenna. If your antenna is focused on the shit that people are making you feel based on their choices and based on what they do or don't do, that's what you're going to keep on bringing in. So for example, if someone's doing something that you don't like, that doesn't sit well with you, that you've spoken to them about before over and over and over again, and you continue to get the same behavior, and you continue to get that same yuckiness because nothing is changing, that's because you're not moving your antenna. You're not moving to calibrate to something different. They may choose not to change what they do, what they don't do, what they say, what they don't say, based on what you're asking for. But that's their problem, not yours. Whether you stay in that situation or not, that's what you choose based on where you move your antenna. We cannot change how someone acts and reacts or does and doesn't do. We can only change how we accept or don't accept that. Let's talk about, if I can give you another example, let's say finance, right? Which has been a big one for me, as those who have been in my channel before will know. What we experience in terms of finance, those people that experience phenomenal financial freedom day in and day out, their antenna is pointed that way. That's what they're calibrating to. That's their energy they're bringing in because they know what it feels like. So they keep tweaking that antenna left and right to make sure that they stay in that vibration on that channel, right? And as soon as the image starts to get a little bit fuzzy, they're like, oh, wait a minute, let me recalibrate. Sometimes when we have difficulty and things aren't happening the way we want it to happen, it could just be because we're so used to that we haven't recalibrated. We haven't shifted 2% this way or 2% that way to get a better image, to get the image that we want. Let's talk about channels. If you want to watch, I don't watch too much TV these days, but let's say if you want to watch the news and you put your, here we're in Australia, so the news here is channel 7, 9 and 10. And I know that channel 10, the news starts at 5 p.m, right? So let's say it's 5 p.m. and I want to watch the news, and I put on channel 7. And I'm sitting there getting frustrated going, what on earth, come on, where's the news? Why isn't it coming? And I'm getting frustrated, and I'm getting angry at the TV and angry at channel 7 for not playing the news at 5 o'clock. It's not their fault. I'm on the wrong channel. I'm meant to be on channel 10. But here I am on channel 7 getting frustrated, angry, blaming the news for not playing it on at 5 o'clock when it's actually not on at that channel. I need to be on a different channel to get what I want, but I'm not. So why am I blaming that person, that channel, for not seeing, feeling, getting what I want, when it is up to me to flick the station, to change the direction of my antenna to get what I want, whether it be feelings, whether it be money, whether it be experiences, whether it be whatever it is. Hello there, person. It's just a little reminder that just as the sun comes up because of the pull of the universe, because of a specific energy, it happens because of a specific energy. Just the same as it comes up when it's meant to be, and then it goes down when it's meant to go down, so should we. So can we, right? The sun will always rise, regardless of where your antenna is pointing. But the sun knows, the universe knows what it needs to do to be able to produce a brand new day for us every single time. It's because it's pointing in the direction that it needs to point. The energy is where it needs to be for this to happen, what you're viewing. There's the flow of the ocean. It's all energetic. Like, it's absolutely all energetic. You can either believe it or not believe it, but not believing it, let's say you don't believe that, energetic fields and the pulls of the universe and tectonic plates and everything like that. Let's say you don't believe in any of that. It's not going to stop it from happening. It's not going to stop the sun from rising. You're allowed to have your beliefs, but it's not going to stop something from happening. It's like you're allowed to believe that you don't need to recalibrate to get a different result. You can believe that, but you're just going to keep on getting the result you don't want until you realize that, hey, it's up to me to change the direction of my antenna. And again, that's for anything. That's for relationships, that's for work relationships, that's for work conditions, that's for experiences in life, that's for things you want to happen, that's for things you want to stop happening. We can't physically change someone else's health. You can't make them do something. You can't. No matter how sick they are, you can suggest things, you can try to point people in the right direction, you can do all of that, but you cannot make them do it, right? You cannot make them do it at all. You only have the ability to make and change your own situation. It doesn't mean you can't try to help people. Hell no, definitely not, especially when we love people. We can have conversations. We can, whether it be physical, spiritual, or mental health, you can have conversations. You can try to guide. You can, whatever you do, right? But it's that saying, you can't lead a horse to water. You can lead a horse to water. You just can't make it drink. You can lead people to something that can result in a difference in their life, but you can't make them do it. So continue to have your conversations, continue to share information, when it is for the highest good of a person that you love and care about. But if they choose not to drink the water or change the direction of their antenna, that is their prerogative. Now, if they choose not to, and the not doing affects your physical, mental, and spiritual health, that's when you need to decide whether you continue on the journey with that specific person, that specific job, that specific friendship group, or whether you turn your antenna 2% in a different direction to bring in the person, the partner, the job, or the friends that you need and want. And I think it's difficult to say that when it is to do with illness, because if you are in a situation where your partner, husband, wife is ill, whether it be physically or mentally, it's, we feel like that, let's say you recalibrate, you go, okay, I've tried and he or she doesn't want to change or blah, blah, blah. Now I'm going to let go, leave. It's difficult, right? Because you feel like you're abandoning someone in their time of need. I totally get it. And it all depends on the illness. It all depends whether they're 100% there or not. Or sometimes they're 100% there and sometimes they're not. I get it. But at the end of the day, how are you going to be able to help anyone and help yourself if that situation is making you physically, mentally, and spiritually unwell? So it may be that you spent a year trying with that person or more, and that's enough. Yeah? And again, if someone is mentally unstable, has no brain function, it's different. There's all these different scenarios, right? Someone could be in a vegetative state, then they can't make those decisions. It's all different. So I can't give you specifics because everyone's going to be in a different situation. But I wholeheartedly think you understand what I'm speaking about, and I wholeheartedly think that you will know what's right for you, how much time is right for you, how much trying time is right before you say, it's enough. I've given it my all. I've tried everything I can in every different scenario, and it's enough. He or she doesn't want health because he or she isn't doing everything they can to get there. Everything. Giving things up, trying new things, whether that be physical, mental, or spiritual. It gets to a point where enough is enough. And if you decide to move away from the relationship, move away from the job and do something different, move away from the friendship group, after years of trying, through conversations, through sharing, through everything, out of love, right? Out of love, then you are not abandoning. You are only choosing your own physical, mental, and spiritual health. Because as much as that other person deserves it, so do you. So do you. Only because someone is sick and choosing to be sick, because when you don't change your habits, when you don't do everything you can, when you have the opportunity to and you don't, then you're choosing to stay in that state. Yeah. That's the way I think and I believe. Whether it's right or wrong, that's up to the listener to decide. But it's what I feel, right? It's what I feel. And I feel that for, physical, mental, and spiritual health, all combined, because I think that we're a package, right? It's not one or the other. It's everything together. You know, people choose, some people are extremely sick, have diabetes, and choose to continue eating shit. Oh, but I'll take a pill, right? So that's choosing to continue to stay unwell. That's what I mean. Some people have mental health, and there's these beautiful free things that we can do, like watching the sunset, the sunrise, and getting outside and exercising and having therapy, but they choose not to. They choose to, and I know that depression is sometimes it's hard. Like I've had depression before, and I know that sometimes it's hard to leave the house. Yeah, but there needs to be a conscious decision to go one step at a time, 1% every single day, one little shift, outside for 1 minute today, outside for 2 minutes tomorrow, walking for 5 minutes today, walking for 10 minutes tomorrow. It's small little baby steps. It's sitting at the front of the house today. It's walking to the park tomorrow. I think you understand. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the sunrise. And always, always be great, be kind, be you. And I hope that next time you get outside and watch the sunrise or the sunset, wherever you are in this world. Have a great day, have a great week, and see you right here on MYBITS next week. Ciao for now.